Hi guys, today I'm making a video I'll show you the build I've been playing since the start of the league. I league started as Armageddon brand and then I transitioned into Storm brand. I've been trying to make more crafting videos, but I'm doing a big project with crouching Tuna. I don't have as much time, so I'll just show you this build I've been playing, which is faster than making like a full guide on how to craft an item. I'll make more crafting videos later on, but for now we have like a big project with crouching Tuna, and we're spending all of our money, like over 4 mirrors, to make the most tanky, strong build that we can to survive any possible ultimatum, because we're gonna be using the mirror ultimatums to mirror items that a crafter friend of ours has. He has like almost all of the best items that are for sale right now. Is like the one crafting them, and he just wants to mirror them with the ultimatums that are like worth, I don't know, 70x, around that. And instead of paying 200x to mirror an item and then selling it for mirror plus fee, you can just mirror it for 70x and sell it for like a mirror or less instead, so that he makes a profit. And he'll probably tip us when we run his ultimatums. Okay, so how this build works? Oh shit! Okay. How this build works is you just play Stormbrand. You're squishy, but it doesn't really matter if you don't get hit. It's pretty safe. I misclicked. It's pretty safe because you just put the brand down and you can just run. I don't really use recall too much. I used to put recall on left click, but on really squishy builds, you want the brands to stick, and it's better to just play a little bit safer and recast them than recalling and just running into packs. If you have like a more min-max build, you can just put it on left click and just run into packs and be fine. But since I have like 3k HP because my gear is kind of trash, I only spec it to damage. And I'll show you the tree and everything after this invitation. I'll just do a full invitation. I'm just gonna rush to the bosses. You would normally full clear the map, but I'm just gonna rush to the bosses and show the invitation how it works and the boss damage. It's pretty good. I'm stacking power charges. I'm using power chance rings. Those are pretty expensive, but you can pull it off without using them. And I'm using this amulet, which is ephemeral bond, which is insane. It gives damage per power charge and it gives good crit multi and everything. It carries the build really hard. It's like, I think it's better than bad for a lot of cases. Like, you can see the damage after the boss got healed by the Atlas passive. This passive here. Shepherd and Elder Guardians are healed to full life, and they bring an ally, so double boss. I still destroyed it. Like, he was almost dead, healed to full life, and then I killed 2 of them again. I have 4 brands, so it's good enough for 2 bosses, because 2 attached to one boss, 2 attached to the other one. I misclicked again. Oh no, I need to change the position of my map device. But yeah, right now I'll show you some of the gear I've been crafting for the Aurabot. So we're gonna be going with Tuna as a carry, and I'm gonna be Aurabotting. I've been sniping items. I got a +3 chest, 6 linked Sakawal. I got a pretty crazy helmet, 277 ES with Wrath enchant, effect on an implicit. It's an Anubris base, which is the best ES base, 30% quality, and it has +2 AoE, so it levels up my gems, good AoE, and it gives reservation because I'm an Aurabot. I've been buying 1% RMR jewels and +5 gloves for auras, and just good jewels to put in the tree. I still need to buy all the gems, boots, shield. I actually crafted a pretty good shield here. I can make a video on how to craft this. The prefixes need to be finished, but it's still pretty good. Like, even if I don't finish the prefixes, 295 with reservation and effect sells for like 28 to 30 plus X. So yeah, I'm still finishing the gear. When I have everything complete, I'll make crafting videos on how to make all the gear for the Aurabot. Some items are uniques. I can't really do a video about those, but for all the rares that I'm gonna be crafting, I'll show you how to craft them. But yeah, as you can see, the build is pretty smooth. The only map mod that you probably don't want to run is Avoid Ailments, because your Impulse Sash makes mobs explode, and if the mobs don't explode, sometimes there's porcupines and stuff. And if they explode, since you have 2.9k life, you can't really do anything about porcupines. This is gonna kill you. Unless you just put a brand down and just run the opposite direction and you just don't get hit by the spikes. Yeah, the build is pretty smooth. There's not a lot of investment in the build. Like, the weapons are like 30 each. The helmet, you can buy a similar helmet without the reservation. You don't really need the reservation. I got a lot of mana open. It says life, power charge reservation. You can buy something without the reservation and just get some reservation on the tree for like 1 or 2x. The helmet is not that expensive. The belt is just life res and some crit, but you don't need a crit, just life res. Okay, you do the Chimera, you just put the brands down and you just put 1 on each door and then 1 in the middle. And the mobs will spawn and just instantly die. Those didn't for some reason. And then you just put 2 in the middle in between phases. Oh, he's calling a friend, that's why I was getting hit. But yeah, you put 1 brand in front of each door and the phase instantly goes. Okay, the only part where you can die is this one. Yep, because I don't have any defenses. When it goes into the smoke, you can actually die. But I just have cast on Death Portal for this. It doesn't really matter, I don't care about XP. Okay, yield back to full life because of the Atlas, and then you put 1 on each door. And you just wait, and then you put 2 in the middle, and it just spawns, and it just dies. Yeah. So, if you do enough damage, you can skip the smoke phase completely, but if you can't skip it, just cast on Death Portal, go back in, and finish it. Okay, let's see how close we are to the invitations, the last map. Okay, let's run the last map, and then I'll do the invitation. So yeah, the whole point on the 2 builds that we're gonna make for the ultimatums, we're gonna be as tanky as possible. How we achieve this is the Aurabot is gonna have like really good gear, plus gems level 2 auras. It's gonna have a lot of aura effect, and a lot of ES base, so it doesn't die as well. I should probably get over 8k ES, I think. We will get 90% max res, the carry is gonna be using 2 Call of the Brotherhoods, and he's gonna use Spark. So that basically the goal is to fill the whole arena of sparks, so that as soon as the mobs spawn, they will just instantly die. And another problem is gonna be ruined, because we're trying to make the builds viable for every possible ultimatum. So if we get hit by ruined, we might lose some items. So what we're gonna do about it, the carry of the team, which is Tuna, is gonna have good block, and I'm gonna give him a lot of evasion and dodge from Grace and Valgrace. I'm gonna scale his attack speed and cast speed, and move speed and everything, and the damage from auras. I'm gonna be trying to have almost 100% uptime on Valgrace through the use of these rings. Soul gain prevention duration is less soul use, so you just put Valgrace on this and you can just spam it probably, because I'm gonna have a weapon with reduced soul cost, and I'm gonna use Soul Catcher for even less soul cost. So we're trying to get as close as possible to 0 soul gain prevention. I'm gonna show you the invitation right now. So how you play this build is you just put the brands down and just run the opposite direction. You look where they're spawning. Yeah, they're spawning at the bottom. Just run the opposite direction. Try to not get by Hydra. Yeah, you just put it down and just run. You can do any invitation like this. You can do feared. You can do whatever. You just put them in the middle and just run the opposite direction, and the mobs will just die before they even reach to you. So you literally don't need any life. Stonebrand is such a good skill mechanically, and I'll show you the passive skill tree and the jewels and all the gear. So I have a +1 Impulsa. You don't need this. I bought it for like 9x. You can buy like a clean one for like 5 or whatever. On the helmet, you just need life and power charge, some res if you can. This amulet is insane. It gives you 2 to 48 lightning damage per power charge, and the only and a lot of multi and res. And the only downside of this is it gives you less power charge duration, but you bypass this downside by having Stonebrand and power charge on crit. Power charge on crit becomes really good once you have at least 10 power charges. gives you 40% or more damage per power, 40% or more damage if you have 10. You get void batteries. Void batteries are like 30C right now, not that expensive. Gloves is life, res, and whatever you can get from damage. Like I have some crit chance and some flat, but it's not that important. You want at least one fire damage in your build. Like for example, you added fire damage to spells. If you can look at my skill, it has 45 to 68 fire damage. That is good because Cinder Swallow makes the mobs take increased damage if they're ignited. So as long as you crit that you have one fire damage, they're gonna be ignited. You want an enduring mana flask because if you're just gonna spam brand, you're gonna run out of mana eventually. But if you're enduring, you can literally just spam forever. You're always full mana. You don't really need this if you invest into some mana regen, but I just like to have it. It's just easy. This build is not min-maxed by any means. You can get way better. The only expensive part of the build is that power charge rings. You don't really need those. They're like 50x. I bought them for 15 at the start of the league. You can drop them and get like some just straight up good damage rings and it should be fine. On the cluster jewels, I'm trying to go for pen, scintillating idea, storm drinker, 5 pen, 8 pen, and this is just some AoE and damage. For the other one, you want corrosive elements and storm drinker for 8 pen, and then corrosive elements make your skill, apply exposure. Exposure is buffed by Mastermind of Discord, so instead of like 10 or 15 or whatever it is this exposure value, it's usually like 15 or 25. I don't know, they actually nerfed it, but yeah. You just get that amount of a normal exposure plus 25 because you're Elementalist with Mastermind of Discord. I'm using Bastion of Elements so I can just run every map mod. You don't really need this, but if you can be bothered looking at map mods, this is good. If you just look at your map mod and you're careful, you can probably just use this for more damage. But I just like the quality of life this brings. You're gonna be using golems for element immunity and just a lot of stats. As you can see, I have 5 golems. I get 1 from tree, 1 as a base, and I get 2 from this ascendancy. And the last one I get it through Anima Stone. You don't need to use more than this. It's good if you get more, but I prefer, for example, like as you can see, it makes you summon 1 extra golem and 1 for if you have at least 3 primordials. The primordials are the other golem jewels or the golem amulet. I don't like running those because I'm gonna lose too much life, crit multi, and cast speed on the tree. So I would have to drop 3 jewels, and I don't think it's worth it because it gives so much damage. As a Watcher's Eye, just get some crit multi pen if you can. So as a links, you want to run all more multipliers. So Control Distraction, Stormbrand, Conk, Power Charge on Crit, Swift Brand is like one of the best damage multipliers. It gives activation frequency, which is the rate at which you do damage, and Inspiration is another more damage multiplier. There might be a better setup, but I just go with 6 more multipliers. I get most of my flat from the amulet. It gives like 200 to 300 flat to spells because how broken this is with the power cell stacking. And I get all my crit multi from tree. And all my defenses, attack speed, cast speed, and crit, I get it from golem buffs mostly, and some from the tree. I'll make another video later on the Aurabot I'm building. It's pretty, like, it's really good gear. I spent 65x for this. I spent 60x for this. I spent like 24 for this, 12 for this. I spent 10 for this, 35 for the gloves, and I'm missing most of the build. I crafted this. 300 yes with the effect and mana, effect of curse, effect of auras and reduced mana reservation. I also changed my mic settings. I'll show you here. I have a lot of compression and I put an equalizer as well. Oh, now it's flat, but yesterday I changed a lot of settings. But yeah, I'm trying to improve the quality of the videos, and thanks for watching.